And I'll testify of the seas that we've crossed, the waters you've parted, the waves that I walked, singing, oh, my God did not fail. Oh, is a story I'll tell, singing, oh, I know it is well. Oh, is a story I'll tell. Hello. It's testimony time, and I'm going to make this as short as I can. I just wanted to share a little testimony with you. It's Tuesday, so let's just call it Testimony Tuesday and see how far we'll get with this. So I wanted to share about I have a lot of testimony, but I'm going to start with my job, how I got my job. So when I was in school in 2016, I was an international student. So international students are only allowed to work 20 hours per week. And so I applied for this job at Metro, and then I got it where I was working there in their deli. So I was making sandwiches and pizza and so forth. And then I realized that they weren't giving me enough hours. Like, there would be weeks when I would only work 4 hours, and they were paying weekly, and it was like less than $10 for minimum wage at the time, and minimum wage is what I was getting. So it was just not cutting it. And then I remember just feeling like, gosh, if I could just get somewhere where I can work at least the 20 hours. I mean, I'm not looking for somebody to really give me anything, because somebody give you something, it doesn't last. It serves for a while, but I wanted something that I could do for myself that would pay. And so I started praying, and after I prayed, the Lord put this image of this person in my mind, and I'm like, God, but I can't go to this person. I can't recall ever having a conversation with this person. I know that I've seen her at work, but I don't know what would I go to her and say. And so I said, God, if this is you, please put it in her heart so that she will initiate the conversation with me. And so I remember being at school and, bored, checking Facebook. And then I realized that a message came in. The message was from her. She said that she was about to call the pastor to ask the pastor for a number for me, but then she decided that she didn't really want anybody to know about it, so she tried Facebook. And so she said I should call her. She sent her number, and that's I should call her. And when I called her, she asked me, what's happening with you? How can I be a blessing to you? And she explained to me that the Lord put it in her heart that she should do something for me. She saw me at church the Sunday before, and she actually came up to me and hugged me when the pastor said that we should hug somebody and call them family. And she came up to me and hugged me, and I thought at the time that that was going to be the moment when she would say something to me, and she didn't. And she was explaining to me that when she went home that night, she couldn't sleep. She feel like Jesus did a beat her. And so she wanted to know now how she could help me. And I explained to her that I just needed a job. I just needed to be able to work 20 hours. And when I went to the school where she's the director there, at the college where she's the director there, the manager told me that I didn't have enough experience, and so she couldn't give me a full 20 hours, but she would give me Saturdays. And so I started working there on Saturdays. as a part-time receptionist. Fast forward to almost 5 years later, I've moved from being a receptionist to being the financial aid officer, to being education consultant, to being now campus manager. And so my encouragement to you today is just to believe God and just to know that God is able to do far more exceedingly. And this is not just scripture, a real thing. Like, God has the ability to exceed your expectations. And just to point out that the most significant thing to me in this journey, this lesson, this testimony, was the fact that after having conversations with her later on, I found out that there was somebody in Jamaica who had helped her in her earlier years before she migrated. And she said that lady had been so good to her and she wanted to go back home to do something for her, or just to see her, to say thank you, to let her know that I appreciate everything that you've done for me. And then when I started prying a little bit more and asking her about this mystery woman and where she met her, she told me that she met her in a small town in Clarendon called Thompson Town. And she told me that the lady's name was Miss Booth and she was a teacher. And if any of you know me, you know who that person is to me. That person is the dearest person to my heart. And that's my grandmother. And so it was just so amazing to know that she was able to, in a way, repay my grandmother by paying it forward, and helping me in a time when she wanted to be able to go back and say thank you. She didn't have to, because God had ordained it so that whatever my grandmother had done for her in those years would be enough for her to always remember my grandmother and know in Canada to be able to help her granddaughter. And that is my testimony for today. I hope that it encourages you to believe God and to trust God and to be kind, because you never know how weird down the line it may pay off. So have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.